Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
Sounds fun.
It is. And, sometimes the tech world feels like a peaceful lake, but other times it's like someone just chucked a boulder right in the middle of it.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's kind of what's happening right now with AI, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good analogy. Things are definitely getting shaken up.
Exactly. And the boulder thrower this time, DeepSeek.
DeepSeek!
A Chinese AI company that's been making waves. Big waves.
Yeah, they've certainly been turning heads. And you don't even have to look far to see why. I mean, they just launched their app, and it's already the #1 downloaded app on the App Store.
Beating out even ChatGPT.
Yeah.
That's wild. So what's got everyone so fired up?
Well, it's their new AI model, R1.
R1, okay.
Think of it like this. Imagine trying to bake a cake, right? But you need this giant industrial-sized oven to do it.
Okay, so that's a powerful AI.
That's what building powerful AI has been like, needing tons of expensive specialized computer chips called GPUs.
Okay, so that's our giant oven.
Right. But then DeepSeek comes along and says, hold on, what if we can bake that same cake, just as delicious, but in a regular oven?
Interesting.
R1 gets similar results to those big, expensive models, but it was trained using way fewer GPUs and cost a fraction to develop.
So they found a way to make powerful AI more affordable.
Exactly.
That's pretty disruptive. What does that mean for the companies that make those expensive GPUs? The big oven makers.
Well, just look at NVIDIA. Their stock took a massive hit when news of R1 broke.
Really?
Dropped 17% in a single day. Biggest single-day loss in U.S. history.
Wow.
Investors are getting spooked, thinking, if you don't need to buy as many of these expensive chips anymore, what does that mean for our bottom line?
Yeah, it's a wake-up call, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But DeepSeek's rise hasn't been without its bumps, right? I mean, wasn't there a cyber attack recently?
There was. They had to temporarily stop new users from registering, which is never good.
So while this technology is super promising, it's clear that there are also, big challenges. Like, what about the security of all of this?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a big concern. The U.S. government is even starting to get more strict about which companies can get their hands on the most powerful AI chips.
Ooh.
They're trying to stay ahead of the game and maybe slow down other countries from catching up.
So it sounds like this is about more than just who can build the best AI. It's about, global power.
Right.
Who controls the future of this technology?
Absolutely. And it's sparking a lot of debate, Some are saying DeepSeek's open source approach to sharing their image generator is amazing. Like, it's making this tech accessible to more people.
Right.
Others are worried about potential misuse, like creating fake images or harmful content.
Yeah, it's that double-edged sword thing, right?
Yeah.
Amazing potential, but also potential downsides we need to be really careful about.
Exactly. But DeepSeek isn't stopping there. They just released their Janus Pro family of image models, which are getting a lot of buzz.
Janus Pro, what's
Yeah.
so special about those?
So think of DALL-E 3, OpenAI's image creation tool.
Right.
Well, these new DeepSeek models are reportedly even better, both at analyzing and creating images.
Wow.
It's another example of how DeepSeek is really challenging the big players in the AI field.
So it seems like they're not just trying to keep up, they're trying to set the pace.
Yeah.
So what does all this mean for the future of AI? I mean, it seems like DeepSeek is making it more accessible and potentially cheaper.
It's certainly shaking things up.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where smaller companies and research groups can suddenly afford to get into the AI game. That could lead to a whole lot of new ideas and innovation that we wouldn't have seen otherwise.
It's like they're opening the doors to a whole new world of possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also uncharted territory. What happens when the playing field suddenly gets a lot bigger?
That's the million-dollar question. Does this lead to more collaboration or more competition?
Mm-hmm.
More good or more potential for misuse? Only time will tell, but it's definitely something we need to be paying attention to.
For sure, for sure. All this talk about DeepSeek is fascinating, but they aren't the only ones making moves in the AI world.
Oh, absolutely not.
It seems like there's a ton of innovation happening right now, and some pretty big players are getting involved.
Oh, yeah. Like, take Alibaba, for example. They've just unveiled their Qwen AI models, and they're designed to do a whole lot more than just chat.
Hold on, Alibaba. Like, the online shopping giant?
Yes.
They're getting into AI now, too.
Big time. Their Qwen models are designed to handle all sorts of tasks, from understanding videos to even controlling a whole computer. It's similar to what OpenAI is doing with Operator.
Whoa, so we're not just talking about writing emails or making pictures anymore. AI is getting way more powerful and versatile.
Exactly. And think about what that means for, you. Imagine a world where AI is seamlessly integrated into your digital life,
Oh.
automating all sorts of tasks and making things easier and more efficient.
That sounds pretty amazing, actually.
It's exciting, but it also raises some big questions.
Like, if AI can control my computer, how do I know it's always going to do what I want it to do?
Right.
And what about the jobs that AI might replace? A lot of people rely on those jobs that robots might take over.
Yeah, those are valid concerns. But there are also some incredibly positive developments happening in the AI world. Like, take Microsoft's investment in nuclear fusion, for instance.
Wait, nuclear fusion, as in the same technology that powers the sun.
The very same. Microsoft is backing a startup called Helion, which has raised a staggering $425 million to develop fusion power.
That's wild, but why would a tech company invest in nuclear fusion?
Well, think about the massive amounts of energy it takes to train these large AI models. We're talking huge data centers running around the clock. Fusion power has the potential to provide clean, safe, and nearly limitless energy.
So they're looking ahead,
Yeah.
thinking about how to power the future of AI in a sustainable way.
Yeah,
It's a pretty big bet, but also a pretty exciting one.
absolutely. And it's not just Microsoft either. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, is personally investing in Helion too. Clearly, they see a big connection between the future of AI and the need for new energy solutions.
Okay, so we've got AI that's becoming more powerful, more versatile, and potentially more sustainable.
Right.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. And it's important to remember that with all this progress, there are also potential risks that we need to be aware of. Cybersecurity, for example, is a huge concern.
Cybersecurity, like hacking and data breaches.
Exactly. Remember that Sonic Wall breach a while back? Hackers exploited a vulnerability in one of their products and gained access to sensitive information.
Yeah, that's scary. So as AI gets more sophisticated, does that mean it also becomes more vulnerable to attacks?
It's a constant arms race.
Yeah.
As we build more complex systems, we also create more potential points of failure. That's why cybersecurity is so critical, especially in the age of AI.
So we need to be smart about how we develop and use AI. We can't just focus on the potential benefits without also considering the risks.
Absolutely. And another big question is how AI is changing the way we create and consume information. Like, look at what's happening in the media, for example.
The media, like news articles and stuff.
Exactly. Some business outlets, like Quartz, are already using AI to write articles.
Really?
It's faster and more efficient, but it also raises some big questions.
Like, what happens to journalists?
Right.
And how do we know if the information we're reading is accurate and unbiased?
It's something we need to think critically about. As AI gets better at generating human-like text, it's going to become more and more difficult to tell the difference between human-written and AI-written content.
It's like that line between reality and simulation is getting blurrier and blurrier.
Exactly. And it's not just about news either. Think about all the other ways we use language, like writing books, scripts, even social media posts. AI is going to have a huge impact on all of those areas.
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
So we've got AI controlling computers,
Yeah.
powering homes with nuclear fusion, and even writing our news. What's next? Is it going to take over the world?
That's the classic sci-fi scenario, isn't it? But in reality, it's much more nuanced than that. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. It all depends on how we choose to develop and use it.
So it's not about AI taking over the world. It's about humans making responsible choices about how AI shapes our future.
Exactly. And that means having open and honest conversations about the potential benefits and risks of AI, and making sure that everyone has a voice in shaping the future of this technology.
Speaking of the future, what about quantum computing? That seems like another area where things are heating up.
Quantum computing is definitely a fascinating field, although it's still in its early stages.
Yeah.
Companies like Alice and Bob are making some exciting progress, but it's going to be a while before we see, widespread practical applications.
But the potential is huge, right? I've heard it could revolutionize everything from drug discovery to cybersecurity.
The potential is certainly there. Imagine being able to design new drugs with incredible precision, or break the most sophisticated encryption codes. But we need to be realistic about the challenges too. Quantum computing is a really complex field, and there are still a lot of technical hurdles to overcome.
So it's like we're on the edge of a scientific breakthrough, but We're still peering through a foggy window. We can see the potential, but the details are still fuzzy.
That's a great analogy. And that sense of mystery is what makes it so exciting, you know? It's like exploring uncharted territory, not knowing what we might discover around the next corner.
That's what I love about technology, that constant sense of discovery.
Mm.
It's always evolving,
Yeah.
always pushing us to think differently and imagine new possibilities.
Absolutely. But it's important to remember that with every new technological advancement comes responsibility. We need to think carefully about the ethical and societal implications of our creations
Right?
and make sure that technology serves humanity, not the other way around.
Well said. It's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we choose to use it and what kind of world we want to build with it.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the central question of our deep dive today. Will DeepSeek's approach to AI development lead to a more democratized and accessible future? Or will it spark a new era of competition and potential misuse?
It's a question without an easy answer, but it's one that we need to keep asking ourselves as we navigate this uncharted territory.
Absolutely. The DeepSeek story, along with all the other developments we've discussed today, really highlights the importance of staying informed, having open and honest conversations, and making sure that we're shaping the future of AI in a way that benefits everyone.
It's not just about the technology itself, but about the values, ethics, and aspirations that guide its development and application.
Well said. And that's a conversation that we all need to be a part of.
It's like we're holding the keys to a powerful engine, and it's up to us to decide where we want to drive.
And who gets to be in the driver's seat? It's a question of access, control, and ultimately who benefits from these technological advancements.
Right. It's about making sure that AI is used for good, that it doesn't just benefit a select few, but helps to create a more just and equitable world for everyone.
And that it's developed and deployed in a way that respects human rights, privacy, and autonomy.
It's a tall order, but it's a challenge we need to face head on. We can't just sit back and let technology dictate our future. We need to be active participants in shaping the technology and the world that we want to live in.
Absolutely. And that means engaging in thoughtful discussions, being willing to challenge our assumptions, and working together to create a future where AI is used for the betterment of humanity.
So where do we go from here? What can we as individuals do to navigate this rapidly evolving AI landscape?
That's a great question. First and foremost, stay informed. Keep up with the latest developments, both the exciting breakthroughs and the potential risks. Knowledge is power, especially in a field as complex and rapidly changing as AI.
Right. We can't bury our heads in the sand and pretend that AI isn't already having a huge impact on our lives.
Right.
We need to understand what's happening so that we can make informed choices about how we interact with this technology.
And don't be afraid to be critical either. Don't just accept everything you hear or read at face value. Question the sources, consider different perspectives, and think for yourself.
Absolutely. It's easy to get caught up in the hype, but we need to be discerning consumers of information. Don't be afraid to ask questions, to challenge the status quo, to demand transparency and accountability from those who are developing and deploying these powerful technologies.
And finally, engage in the conversation. Talk to your friends, family, colleagues about AI. Share your thoughts, concerns, and hopes for the future. This isn't just a conversation for experts and policymakers. It's a conversation for everyone.
Because ultimately, the future of AI is not something that will be decided by a select few. It's something we will all shape together.
It's a collective responsibility and one that we should embrace with both excitement and a sense of purpose.
Well said. It seems like DeepSeek has inadvertently sparked a much-needed conversation about the future of AI, and that's a good thing.
It is. And hopefully this conversation will lead to a more thoughtful and responsible approach to AI development and deployment.
One that prioritizes human well-being, social justice, and a sustainable future for all.
Couldn't agree more. So, to our listeners, what do you think? What are your hopes and fears about the future of AI? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.
And remember, the future of AI is in our hands. Let's make it a good one.
It really makes you wonder what other surprises are lurking around the corner. I mean, we've got AI that can design images, write articles, and even control computers. What's next?
Well, if those examples surprised you, buckle up, because some researchers are already working on AI that can interact with the physical world through robots.
Hold on, AI-powered robots. Like straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It sounds like science fiction, but it's rapidly becoming a reality. Imagine robots that can perform delicate surgery, assemble complex machinery, or even assist with like household chores.
That would certainly change things. But wouldn't that kind of technology be like incredibly expensive and complex to develop?
It certainly has been a major hurdle in the past. But remember DeepSeek's approach to developing R1, their focus on efficiency and affordability.
Yeah.
Well, that could potentially revolutionize robotics as well.
So you're saying that DeepSeek's innovations might not be limited to just software and algorithms. They could have like ripple effects throughout the entire tech industry.
Exactly. If they can figure out how to build powerful and efficient AI that can control robots, that could be a game changer for all sorts of industries.
It's like a chain reaction. One breakthrough leads to another, and suddenly the possibilities seem endless. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's still a lot of challenges to overcome before we have AI-powered robots running around everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. We're still in the early stages of development, and then there are all the ethical and societal questions we need to grapple with.
Like how do we make sure these robots are safe?
Yeah.
And who's responsible if something goes wrong? And what about the potential impact on jobs? I mean, a lot of people rely on those jobs that robots might take over.
You've hit on some of the most crucial points. As with any powerful technology, we need to be very thoughtful about how we develop and deploy AI-powered robots.
Yeah.
We need to consider the potential benefits, but also the potential risks.
It seems like with every exciting breakthrough in AI, there's always this shadow of uncertainty. We need to be cautiously optimistic, right?
Exactly. We need to be excited about the potential of AI to improve our lives, but also realistic about the challenges we need to address along the way. And one of the biggest challenges, in my opinion, is the need for more education and public awareness about AI.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people are still confused or even scared about AI. They don't understand how it works or what it means for their lives.
It's understandable. AI is a complex topic, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. It's why it's so important to have open and honest conversations about AI, to demystify it,
Yeah.
and help people understand both its potential and its limitations.
We need to move beyond the hype and the fear and focus on having informed and nuanced discussions about how we want AI to shape our future.
Well said. And part of that conversation needs to involve thinking critically about who's controlling the development and deployment of AI. Is it just a handful of big tech companies, or do we want to see a more decentralized and democratic approach?
That's a really important point. We need to make sure that the benefits of AI are shared widely and that everyone has a voice in shaping the future of this technology.
Exactly. AI has the potential to be a powerful tool for good, but only if we use it wisely and responsibly, and that requires all of us to be engaged and informed citizens.
It feels like we're standing at a crossroads here. On one path, we have the potential for incredible advancements, but on the other, there's a lot of uncertainty and risk.
It's a bit like venturing into uncharted territory. There's a sense of excitement and wonder, but also a healthy dose of caution. We need to be prepared for the unexpected.
And speaking of the unexpected, have you heard about these rumors of AI being used to create entirely new forms of art and music?
Oh, absolutely. AI-generated art and music are already making waves in the creative world. It's fascinating to see how AI can be used to push the boundaries of human expression.
I've seen some of those AI-generated images, and they're pretty mind-blowing. But can we really call it art if it's created by a machine?
That's a question that's sparking a lot of debate.
Yeah.
Some argue that true art requires human emotion and intention.
Right.
Others say that AI can help us to see the world in new and unexpected ways, inspiring us to create things we never would have imagined otherwise.
It's almost like AI is becoming a collaborator, a partner in the creative process. And it's not just limited to visual art. I've heard some pretty amazing AI-generated music, too.
It's incredible how AI can analyze vast amounts of musical data and then create original compositions that are both beautiful and complex.
Yeah.
Some composers are even incorporating AI into their workflow, using it as a tool to explore new ideas and sounds.
It makes you wonder what the future of creativity will look like. Will AI become the dominant force in art and music? Or will it simply augment human creativity, helping us to reach new heights of expression?
It's hard to say for sure, but what's clear is that AI is already having a profound impact on the creative landscape, and it's only going to become more influential in the years to come. And that's why it's so important for you, the listener, to start thinking about these questions now.
So we've got AI creating art, composing music, and potentially revolutionizing industries through robotics. It's a lot to process.
It is, and we've only just scratched the surface of what AI is capable of. I mean, the field is evolving so rapidly, it's hard to predict what the future holds, but that's what makes it so exciting.
It's like we're witnessing the birth of a new technological era.
Hmm.
And the possibilities seem endless, but it's also a time for reflection and careful consideration.
Absolutely. We need to be mindful of the potential impact of AI on our lives, both positive and negative, and we need to make sure that we're using this technology in a way that benefits all of humanity.
It's a big responsibility, but I think it's one that we're up to.
I agree, and I think the key is to approach AI with a sense of curiosity, wonder, and a commitment to ethical development.
Hmm.
We need to remember that AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Right.
It's up to us to decide how we want to use it.
It's like we're holding a paintbrush, and we have the power to create a masterpiece or a mess. The choice is ours.
Well said. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of AI, I think it's important to leave our listeners with a sense of hope and empowerment.
Absolutely. The future of AI is not predetermined. It's something that we're all shaping together through our choices, our actions, and in our conversations.
And remember, the future is not something that just happens to us. It's something that we create.
Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep imagining the possibilities.